and he's completely unblockable, so I need to land some intercepts or hopefully bait some heavies if I can out of him, and then you're going to see me do intercepts, which I just... Hey, welcome back to the channel. It's time for War 6 of the season. SSX, we are 5-1 going up against PYCB. Excellent alliance. We knew this one was going to be very, very tight as we entered it. Now, I'm sure on the thumbnail and the title, probably both, because it's that cool. I do have an awesome fight with Blade, and it's not cheese, it's not just nostalgia. I think Blade is back. I think Blade is back in Tier 1 Masters War. It's crazy, it's incredible. I can't wait to show you. But first, we're going to go through my 4 fights. I do think there are things to learn from them, things to show. Champions I really enjoy, and then I will get to this fight. It's actually from my BG mate, my buddy Alpha in SSX BG1. Cannot wait to show it to you. He volunteered, and you got to see it to believe it. But like I said, here we go. We're going to get into these other fights here. I've been showing you a lot of America Chavez, and I've been talking about the difference between her, because right now she has this planetary, it's not planetary endurance, but it's the war attacker tactic that kind of helps mitigate it, go against it, whatever you want to call it. But I've also shown her in Battlegrounds, and I will eventually get out the Essentials video, I promise. I'm probably just gonna stop saying it because I will eventually just get it out. But I've talked about how to play her a lot in all these other videos. Now, this is Ebb and Flow Knockdown. And one of the things I'm really trying to work on in fights like this, right, is because Gore can only put those debuffs on you if he's got his buffs. Well, if he is Fate Sealed, he's not gonna get his buffs. And I'm really trying to work on tailoring the Chavez's playstyle to the fight itself. You're gonna see me try to just get this off. And it's like, I can't help myself. I'm really struggling with it. I'm getting better at it. I'm gonna continue to solo fight, so that's good. But it'd be better if I just never let these debuffs get up at all. He's obviously going debuff immune, so I guess that's why the Fate Seal didn't even get up. I didn't even think about that, to be honest, and now I'm seeing it right now. But it's fine. We're doing plenty of damage. Well, I was staying out of the way, and then I get hit by that. But again, this really isn't a big deal because you've seen how much damage she's doing. I'm probably going to try to heal back. Yeah, I throw the SB2 off of the second hit of the heavy to get the heal back. And I remembered I was trying to figure out how to do it again so I could heal back more, save myself some potions. But it didn't matter. He hits into me, and I just kind of, it's not a true intercept, but throw my special. It's fine. Like, America Chavez makes that an almost nothing fight. You would have to have what you've often heard me on this channel call the cascading waterfall of errors to make that go bad, right? And that's just how good she is, right? And you've seen me in my other videos do that to a Gore without the attacker tactic, so it's fine. All right, so okay, and then now we're gonna move into this fight against Shuri. Shuri can be a relatively tough defender for a couple of reasons. One is none of her attacks actually make contact. I mean, you can't parry them unless you have one of those champions that can parry non-contact attacks. Like, I believe it's Proxima Midnight, Cold Obsidian, I think is one, and Guardian. These are champions that just kind of come to mind for me. Also, she has a miss mechanic. It's, I think when she gets up 10 of her charges off of her heavy, she can miss. It's used for her offensive abilities, but also can be a pain in defense. And then adding to the complications was this node itself, right? It's the Unstoppable Heavy, I think it is. And then Ebb and Flow Knockdown. So when I knock her down, she'll lose the protection, and I'll get that nice Fury. So the idea here was just to get a couple intercepts going, get the Infuriate with Herc to allow me to get the intercepts, and then to throw my SP1. Remember, when you throw the SP1 with Hercules, you do get a nice anti-miss, and you can see it already came in to help me out there. So we're doing plenty of damage. I started off with the SP1 just to help me get to my SP1 a little bit quicker. I don't think it's totally necessary. I did think about putting on the Recoil Tree Masteries for that extra damage for this. I'm only taking one fight with Herc, but I knew I had more fights with America Chavez, and I was pretty sure, I wasn't pretty sure, I was very sure I'd be able to get this fight down with Hercules without the Recoil Mastery. So that's what you're seeing. I'm just blocking the SP1. I'm taking this very simply. Obviously, I didn't punish it quickly enough there. I did a lot of duels, but it's fine. Throw this SP1, get up my, what's it, True Sense, True Accuracy, True something, which will handle any misses should Shuri go phasing again. But with the Fury from the node and Herc himself having a couple feats of strength built up, just way too much damage. Shuri can be a troublesome defender. I think that's a great placement for, because of especially the heavy, right? With her heavy being how she triggers her miss, and then also having the Unstoppable off of it. It makes a lot of sense. Now, this is a fight I really do want to show you. In fact, before I got the Blade footage, this was going to be the big thing. I was going to put this on the thumbnail and the title is, I completely butcher this fight. I'm not going to spoil it for you, and it will kind of live through this adventure together. But there's a very key ability in Warlock's kit that I completely forgot. I went into this fight thinking, I need this Havoc to have on willpower so that I can power drain him. And here's why. It's got this steady build up unblockable. Basically, in essence, if I get 3 debuffs on me, Havoc's going to go unblockable, and he won't stop being unblockable until I have 0 debuffs. Well, with special burst lockdown on it, and I believe there's also going to be a heal block. That's right. So whenever he throws a special, I'm going to get armor broken, which is bad, right? Because of all the plasma builds up from Havoc, and then also this armor break. So I will, in essence, hit those 3 debuffs there fairly easily should any of these things go wrong, should Havoc even get to a bar of power. So I'm thinking, okay, I need to reparry. It has to happen. I need to get my infections up. But as I've shown you at the top of the screen, here's the ability I forgot. It is very easy to forget this. Now, some of you watching are like, dude, I would never forget that. And that's great. And I'm glad. And I hope you enjoy this fight. But I know there's people out there who will and may have forgotten this. If I did, I mean, someone else maybe did too. And you're going to see me just completely butcher this fight because of it. So I was so keyed in on needing to reparry. And when you want to reparry Havoc, you need him to not medium and then throw heavy, or medium, medium. And you need to line it up. For me, so much of it is timing. You're going to see me multiple times. I'm going to actually dex out of the first hit. Watch this happen here. Now, if he goes, that's what I was hoping for, is that he would be really, really timid, I guess let's call it, or defensive, and I could hit into his block and get a lot of space on the map, because my biggest concern was getting cornered. But you can see here, I don't want to hit him too much because I don't want him throwing any specials. In my mind, that's how this fight could go horribly, horribly wrong. I obviously didn't catch on to the fact that every time I'm blocking these things, I'm power draining him, and then he's going to lose his prowess or plasma buildup, right? And that's what I need, because it would be power draining him, and then I don't need to worry about getting the 3 debuffs, which would be the big, big problem here. So I'm just totally butchering this fight, and I'm getting a little worried. I am holding block in hopes of preventing him from throwing his special. And actually right now it's kind of working, but I'm getting backed up again, and I'm hoping I can pull it off again. This is kind of the strategy for Havoc if you don't have an armor up champion, is you want to force him to throw a special too. Now he kind of throws that, in my opinion, into my block, but I've lost my armor up, and now I'm like, okay, I've got some really big problems. He is now completely unblockable because I have the plasmas on me. And so I'm like, I've just got to play this very, very super aggressive. You're going to see me do things in war fights I don't normally do. So watch, we're going to dex this, and he's completely unblockable. So I need to land some intercepts, or hopefully bait some heavies if I can out of him. And then you're going to see me do intercepts, which I just almost never do. Even in magic fights, you would see me, unless I absolutely had to, I would not do this right here. Here it is. But I know how to do it, and I'm going up against Unblockable Havoc. I know I don't have armor up. I know I've got all these plasmas building. So this fight is, there's only so long I'm going to be able to last in this fight. Because remember, I can't get him to go unblockable again. So I'm just continuing to try to do this. I fortunately do have power back boosts on. So my special 2 is doing a pretty good amount of, pretty decent amount of damage and giving me some power. We had the degen on. We got through. And I think I created the problem. Fortunately, I was able to handle the problem. But my hope is to help you never have to deal with that problem. Just get Havoc, hit into your block as much as you can. If he doesn't give you the chance to reparry him, keep holding block. It's going to help you handle that node so much, and then you'll never get those 3 debuffs on you. I talked to, you know, Nerd and DLL about it. They kind of talked to me about the fight strategy there, and we really got it worked out. And then DLL was one of the ones who said, like, hey, look, you know, this has happened to me before too. When you see Havoc get those, like, I think it's 5 or 6, he said, plasma builds up, really make sure you block a hit or two. Really make sure you block a hit or two, and then you kind of almost restart the fight. And that makes so much sense to me. I made that fight so much more complicated than it needed to be. Hopefully you, the viewer, you know, if you face that same fight, you won't have that problem. All right, now we're going to go in and go into this fight here against Silver Surfer. Had similar concerns because the steady build up unblockable, meaning if he throws his heavy or his SP1, or I think even his special 2, but definitely a special 1, when he's got his cosmic power, I believe it's called, buff, I'm going to get those 3 armor breaks on me. And so I talked to Nerd, my battleground planner. He's like, look, just do everything you can to time your specials, get the Fate Seal up, that'll get rid of his buff, and then he won't be able to armor break you. But just in case he does, practice your side steps. So I did practice my side steps. I had this all down. I'm like, okay, cool. I don't play Chavez the way I normally do. I'm going to be totally focused in on throwing specials when he's got the cosmic buff up, the cosmic power or whatever it's called. Like, I'm like, good, I got it, I'm totally good. Oh boy, oh. All right, so here we go. So I'm hoping not to let him throw a heavy, right? So I back off, get a nice parry, throw my special. Everything's looking great. Everything's looking great. Got the Fate Seal up, and it's like, I think I was still feeling my heart racing a little bit from the last fight, to be honest. I should have held on to my special. There was no reason that I had to throw that then. I could have just waited and thrown my special, you know, when his cosmic buff came up, and then I wouldn't have had to worry about the unblockable. Fortunately for me, I know how to dex his SP1 and punish it. Chavez is doing a ton of damage. Remember, this guy had a good chunk of health. He's already done 2%, so I'm just trying to bait this special 2. He doesn't want to throw it, and then watch Stand Your Ground come in and really help me out here. So I get hit by the tail end. That should have been an unblockable hit. My understanding is that's not how Stand Your Ground should work. So even though it triggered for me, it shouldn't be able to allow me to block an unblockable. I don't know the whole situation set up on that, but I was very thankful for it. I would have survived. I would have lived, obviously, and still had a chance to punish Surfer, but he would have been unblockable. Something I would have rather not had to deal with. So again, if you ever face that one, just go ahead and play your Chavez, save your special. She's going to do more than enough damage. You don't need to do that normal cycle of your special ones, getting up all of your dimensions and then into your special 2. You saw how much damage she does. Okay, and then this is the big one. This is the one that I think, you tuned in because you wanted to see the war video and Chavez and Herc and all of this. But this is the one. I know I'm going to put on the thumbnail and the title. And this is from my buddy Alpha here in BG1 SSX. You have to see this to believe it. Even our opponents were like, can we see that fight, please? I want you to know, and I'm going to read his notes to you just so you know, and it's going to happen so fast. This is node 49 hazard shift. So this has hazard shifts going to be putting on those debuffs on Blade. Also, Shibby from the same battle group applied the Reed pre-fights to help keep power down, power being spots power down. And then I want to give you the strategy of it here. Alpha is going to use a power start 1 and parry to apply the bleeds. Now remember, that's going to start giving Blade power. He's going to do everything he can to not let Spot get to even a single bar of power. That way he, Alpha and Blade, can get to their special 2 before Spot can even get to a special 1. He's got power backs on. I'm doing all the explaining now so we can just sit and watch and enjoy this together. It's really, really cool. Blade's back. He's back. This isn't cheese. This isn't a trick. This is very real. And this is exceptionally well played by Alpha here too. With all these different animations and the heavy and the spots and the dimensions. That's a great punish from Alpha. Goes in, throws his special 2. He's already set up for another one. Nice job of baiting that step back into the special 2 for an additional one. Fight's not even 20 seconds. What is it going to be? 24 seconds? Let's see this. I can't wait to see this. 26 hits. Single combo. Never even gets hit. Does he show the feet? He didn't show it. Okay, but that was about 24 seconds. So I think that's an example of incredibly well done as far as the assignments from Shibby and Bean and Nerd. And then Alpha's got to pull it off. He's got to pull it off. Really great patience, way to know spots, animations, punishing of the heavies and all of that stuff, landing those SP2s. That's just really, really cool. And that's the sort of thing Blade can do. And for those of you who haven't been playing this game for extremely long time or a little unsure, remember Blade gets all that danger sense, I believe it is called, against dimensional beings. Spot is a dimensional being. I think Gallon is one too. So some of these champions are starting to come back. They're tough defenders. Blade's really good too. You saw how hard he can hit. That wasn't a nothing. I do not believe that was cheese. I think it was very, very real and something that's making me keep an eye on Blade and where we're going to have him in tier lists and things like that. So very, very cool. Thank you for sharing that, Alpha. I appreciate it. This war was outrageously close. It was back and forth for quite a while. PYCB did clinch it out in the end. Well done to them and their MVPs. I think we only had 6 deaths and they had 5 or something like that. It was right in that range. So extremely well done. Congratulations to our MVPs, T. Jarvis, Nahorn, Nerd. You know these names. You know that you've been watching this channel for a while. You know these names. Let's go ahead and take a look at the season stats really quickly. All right, SSX 4-2. I mean, that's great. We do that. We're 8-4. We're solidly into Masters. We're probably relaxing that last week. I'll take it. I will take it every day of the week. 24 kills. My 1 death versus Skynet, the AI upright. Robot uprising with my Apple Watch conspiring to kill me. This was cool for me. Is 8 total champions. Is that right? I don't think that's right. Yeah, that's completely wrong. There's 10 total champions. I'll update the sheet for the next video. But if you're listening or watching, you're hearing me say 10. 0 boss solos. We've been over that. We've got so many skilled players, so many boss killers. I'm not saying I'll never kill another one before. I know you're used to seeing me get quite a few boss kills, but I think with an Alliance switch and a BG switch, it's just not in the cards. And I'm very, very okay with that. They're working with my schedule and I appreciate it. And we've got some killers there in this BG. I have 1 defender kill with my rank 5 Hulkling. People are just taking it to my defense. They're doing a great job. But there we go. We got America Chavez with almost 30%. And then I just enjoy this. I enjoy this that I'm getting a few attackers here. I think a handful of attackers I'm getting a lot of fights with, getting a lot of reps with. You can get better at fights, take on new challenges and things like that over the course of the season. And then all these other ones where I get to use the diversity and breadth of my roster. It is really, really fun. And that's one of the things I love about War. I don't love that I made that fight with Havoc difficult and that I had to pull off backdraft intercepts and play against an unblockable Havoc for that long. But I do really like that it forced me to duel my Havocs, to try to learn his ability, and then I learned from the mistakes, and now I know, hey, Warlock's got this. This is one of the things I love about War. I hope your War season is going well. I hope you're learning a lot from these videos, and I hope you're entertained too. Thank you so much for watching. Take care.
I hope you either learned something, were entertained, or even better, a little bit of both. Don't forget to like, subscribe. Thanks so much for watching. Take care.
See